Hey guys, welcome back to day 2 of my foundation week here on my channel. Again, I'm super excited for this week. If you missed yesterday's video, I will put it up in a card. It was the start of foundation week and it was the best foundations for dry skin. Now, I did not preface yesterday like I should have. I'm going to go ahead and do it today because I have a feeling this might happen a little bit more today than it might have yesterday. I'm pre-filming and the dry skin foundation video hasn't even gone up yet, so I don't know what the feedback is going to be from it. But if you've had like a different experience with these foundations than what I'm talking about, that is to be expected, because what I talk about being a great foundation for a certain skin type is not going to work for everybody within that same skin type. So I don't want to like offend anybody. I mean, people get really weird sometimes when someone says something works when they felt that it didn't work for them, or vice versa. So I'm just saying this is what I have found through personal experience and through work experience to be the best ones that I've worked with. Okay, so now that that's out of the way, let's go ahead and get into today's topic, which is the best foundations for oily skin types. Now, again, I don't have an oily skin type, so I can't personally tell you how long these hold up with oils, but I can tell you how they hold up through sweat and how they hold up through oils on my clients. So I have 5 foundations to talk about. All of them do work on me, and I'll tell you kind of how I get them to work. Some work just by themselves, and some I kind of have to mix with some other things. But if you have normal to combo to oily skin, I highly recommend these next 5 foundations. So let's start with the one I actually don't have, which doesn't make sense, but it went bad and I threw it away. But I will put a picture somewhere, probably up here. I'm backwards in how I edit, so I'm trying to figure out where it's going to be. But it's the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Matte Foundation. This is probably the only drugstore foundation I'm going to be talking about this week, but it truly is amazing. Now, I loved it on myself when I preferred more full coverage foundations, because that one is more of a medium to buildable full coverage foundation. And there are still some days where I prefer that look, but overall it's not my jam. So mine was almost out and it had expired, so I threw it out. But quite honestly, like, I have used it in my kit before. It's the only drugstore foundation I've ever used in my kit. It really is just a good foundation. It doesn't have alcohol in it. It doesn't have fragrance in it. It's affordable. A lot of times Ulta has buy one, get one 50% off, or you can use your like CVS 40% off coupons, however you want to work it. But rarely I think you would ever need to buy it without a coupon or sale of some sort. And it just really is good. Not sure exactly how many colors they have, but I feel like they added some to the line not long ago. Maybe I'm wrong. But it's definitely one to check out. If you are oily, or if it's the summer months and you want something that's going to really hold up to sweat and oil, but you don't want to go spend a ton of money because maybe in the winter months you are a little bit drier, I highly recommend checking out L'Oreal Pro Matte. The second foundation I'm going to talk about is one that I can wear by itself personally, but I know personally also works well with oily skin clients, and it's the BareMinerals Pro Performance Wear Liquid Foundation. I think, now I would have to go back and watch the video, but I'm pretty sure I was kind of like indifferent in my video review of this. I don't remember like absolutely loving it, and it's one of the products that has had to grow on me, and it has grown on me. This lasts forever. I think they say that it's like a 12-hour foundation. It's not on here. This does have an SPF 20, but I believe they say that it's supposed to last 12 hours. It lasts longer on me. For oily skin, I think you would, as long as you prime well, you could get a good 8 to 10 hours out of this. It's just really a beautiful finish. They have a really wide range of colors. It's not super matte, which I don't like. I don't like something that's like flat matte on my face. And this one gives more of like a demi-matte finish. Another way that I absolutely love to use this is to mix it with my By Terry CC Brightening Serum. I have it in Sunny Flash. I just bought it in Apricot Glow, but most of the time I'll mix it with my Sunny Flash. This is the color Sandalwood 15, which is a little bit light for me this time of year. So when I mix it with the darker Sunny Flash, it gives such a gorgeous finish. And I posted on my Instagram stories, I don't know, probably like a month ago. I had really bad peeling going on, and I used this in a tutorial not long ago. Oh, my best brand tutorial. I use this. You can see how it looks. But I had posted that picture because I was peeling so bad that day, and this mixed with the By Terry worked wonders, but it also lasted forever. So I really, really recommend this. I've just grown to absolutely love it. The next one I have talked about, I did a whole video on it. I was so overjoyed at how impressed I was by this foundation, because I really was impressed. And it's the Makeup Forever Matte Velvet Plus Foundation. I have since added probably 6 colors to my kit. 5 colors to my kit. I think I ran out of one and didn't repurchase. This is, yeah, okay. I'm going to venture to say it. This lasts on the skin longer than any other foundation that I have used. It lasts through the elements better than any other foundation that I have used. Probably more so than last on the skin, but they kind of go hand in hand. So when I first did this review, I had said that I was in the rain a lot one day wearing it, and then I went to go see The Shack, and I like bawled crying throughout the entire movie, which I knew I would because I had read the book. And really, I was like, I told Chad before we even left the theater, I was like, we've got to go back to the hotel because we were traveling before we do anything else, because I know my makeup just looks awful. And I got in the car and I looked, and it was like I hadn't shed a single tear. It was incredible how well it held up. And really and truly, like, this is just bulletproof. So if you have super oily skin, I highly recommend this. I know a lot of artists carry it in their kit. It can be sheared down very easily with a beauty oil or mixed with another foundation. This is one that I like to mix with the Face Atelier Pro foundation, or just Face Atelier Ultra foundation that I talked about yesterday. The two of them together is absolutely gorgeous. So again, if you have like the oiliest of oiliest skins, I highly recommend checking this out. Now, this next one is something that, again, that it made its way into my top 5. It probably will forever hold a place in my top 5. It is so gorgeous on the skin. And while I don't believe it's marketed to oily skin, I know from reviews and from clients that it holds up well on oily skin, at least some oily skins. And it's the Givenchy Photo Perfection Fluid Foundation with an SPF 20. I have 3 colors. The color that works best for me is Perfect Honey. Oh, and the color that works best for me in this is 53 in the summer and 40 in the winter. Again, number 6, Perfect Honey. Oh my goodness, I adore this foundation so much. And I don't talk about it as much on my channel anymore, except for in my top 5 foundations, because all of my shades, the 3 shades that I have, they do stay in my kit, because honestly, I feel like in some form or fashion, in 90% of my clients, I use this foundation. If you go look at my Instagram with my clients, from the ones that I remember to put their breakdown on, it's this foundation. I did one, I mix it a lot of times, but I did one, I'll put her picture right here, that I posted on Instagram, and it was just this foundation, and she had it pulled up on Sephora's website and like was ready to order it, but before she left, she was asking me about it because she loved it so much. And it's just, it gives a very natural finish. It's a medium coverage. It's not cake-like or mask-like at all. It's very lightweight, but it does really last a long time. So I never fear that it's gonna break up on any of my brides. It may get a little bit more dewy than something like Makeup Forever Matte Velvet throughout the day if you have super oily skin, but it's not going to break up or look greasy. It's just gonna give like a radiance, more of like a natural radiance versus a greasy oil slick radiance, if that makes sense. This one does have, I don't believe it has alcohol, but it does have fragrance. It's fairly low on the list, but it's something I highly recommend checking out. Honestly, if you have normal, dry, or oily skin, that one's gonna work out for you. And then finally, I'm gonna talk about the one that I have on my face today, and I only have small sample sizes, but it was like a perk, like with a $25 purchase from Sephora. So I ended up getting like 4 or 5 different ones in all the colors that they had available, because I knew that I wanted to try this out of my kit on clients to see if it was something I wanted to possibly replace some of my other foundations with, and it is the Laura Mercier Flawless Fusion Ultra Longwear Foundation. I know a lot of y'all had asked me to originally do a foundation review on that, and I'm very happy to do so if you still want it. I know that they're flooded and there's a ton of them on YouTube right now, but I initially wasn't going to buy the full size for myself because it does have alcohol in it. It's fairly low on the list, so it's not like the third ingredient like the Dior Forever or the Dior Backstage or the YSL All Hours. It's not like super high up on the list, but I just didn't think it was going to be something I really wanted in high rotation. I'm still not going to buy it personally, but when I run out of these little ones, I think that I'm going to end up replacing a foundation in my kit with it. I haven't decided what yet, but I'm not going to buy it until I'm done with it. Like, I don't need any more foundations for my kit right now, but I am kind of low on some of them. So eventually I will be replacing some of the matte foundations with this. It's just so pretty on the skin. It is not a gross matte finish. It's a matte finish, but it's almost like a radiant matte. Is that even a thing? Can you do that? I don't know. But it's very thin. You need the very smallest amount to get super full coverage. I wear the color 3-in-1 Buff right now currently. It mixes well with other foundations. It mixes really well with other foundations. It applies over all primers really nicely. It just looks good. It doesn't settle into lines. And it's my definition of what a perfect matte foundation should be. Estee Lauder Double Wear did not make it into this top 5 for oily skin. Even though I know it is bulletproof on a ton of oily skins, I don't prefer the finish of it. I just feel like it really looks like foundation, and it just really looks somewhat cakey. Like, there's a very fine line. I don't dislike it. It's just not in my top 5 for oily skin at all. This I would highly recommend over the Estee Lauder Double Wear because I feel like it lasts the same, but it has a much more flattering finish to it. So if you have not tried this, I really suggest going into Sephora and getting you a sample, because I don't think they have the $25 perk still. I think they sold out, but it really is just a nice staple foundation for anyone with normal to combo to oily skin. And honestly, like today, I didn't want like a super matte finish, even like a radiant matte, so I put it over the Hollywood Flawless Filter from Charlotte Tilbury, and it gave me the exact finish that I wanted. It mixes well with oils. It mixes well with, it's really pretty mixed with strobe cream from MAC. I do that a lot on top of any radiant primers, but it also does well on top of mattifying pore filling primers. So really it's just a win-win. So those are my top 5 foundations for oily skin types. And I think, what am I doing tomorrow? Tomorrow I'll be back with my top favorite, I don't know how many I have, cream foundations. I'm excited about that because I don't talk about those as much. So as always, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you didn't learn anything, at least I hope you found it entertaining. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure and like and subscribe before you leave so you don't miss out on any future content. I will see you tomorrow with my next foundation video, and I hope you all go out and have a very blessed day.